Okay, welcome to 15 minutes on geometry, section 4.1 translation, and hopefully this goes better than my algebra one I made, which I just realized I have to redo because it sucked after watching it with my other class. We're on page 94 in your journal. Remember, you've got links to the journals to print them up. Within the section, we don't do the first 2 pages, the explorations, just the last 3 pages, the vocab, notes, and extra practice. So, vector. Vector looks similar to array. It's kind of a directional arrow like that. So I'm on vector right there. I wish my little pointer on here worked like it used to, but it doesn't seem to do that. Haven't been able to figure out how. But that little yellow pointer that used to come up and follow my cursor around, I don't know what's happened to that. I got to see if I can get it back. But it looks similar to array. Vector AB, this is our notation right here. Okay. Now this isn't an arrow on it right there. So I got a note over here. I'd never finished it. So let's say, remember, array has the arrow. A vector only has half the arrow on it. Okay? So that's the difference in the notation there. You've got an initial point A, a terminal point B. So even though it has this arrow, it's not going past that. It's just going from that. The arrow's more showing the directions going from A to B. It does stop at B though. So that's the difference. We have that terminal point on there, not just the starting point. Okay. Horizontal component. So one way we write our vector is this, what we have right here. That little, it's not a bracket, it's the kind of triangular bracket, or the angle bracket, C comma D, where C is your movement in the X direction, D is your movement in the Y direction. Okay, and I'll show you something later on that. That's called our component form down here. So the horizontal and vertical, they both come together to make the component form. Now another way we write this shouldn't really be should be more like this, parentheses, x plus 2, y plus 5. Okay. So the little triangular brackets here, they give us the vector form with the normal point brackets. That's how you take a new point and do it. So 2, 5 means add 2, add 5 on there. Transformation. Again, this stuff is all listed on page 174 still, so you're still on page 174 here. A function which moves or, pause it, try to get those answers in. I need to get this a different color here. I need to go to my red. Changes a figure in some way. The red just helps me know what to erase for next year. Next one, image. A figure, this one is after the transformations. Notice we have this over here. This is red, triangle, A prime, B prime, C prime. Those apostrophes are called primes here. The pre-image is a figure before the transformations. Notice how you could use those two questions to help answer each other. And that's just triangle APC. A translation is a slide or glide transformation. That slide or glide is usually denoted by a vector on there. Okay, so rigid motion. Shape and size do not change. So the figure is exactly the same. It may be turned, it may be moved, but it's the exact same figure on there. Composition of transformations, that's when we have multiple transformations that are done together. So a lot of terminology in here. Image and pre-image are good. These are all things you really need to know. These are all that get used quite a bit in here and in future chapters. A lot of this is just restated on this page, kids. So this Journals does it a lot. Now this is a lot thinner than what's in your book. So just because they have this in here, don't hesitate to look at your book. There's more detail, there's more examples, and there's other skills in there that aren't mentioned in here as much. I got your initial point and terminal point showed up. You can see where they get the 5, 3, 5 to the right, 3 to the 3 up. That's where that comes from. I have to add the little thing doesn't print quite right, but that's better than it used to print for me, so I can't complain about that. Translation. So they're just moving this one. They're moving this segment PQ right there. And it's just moving along the lines of these vectors. Okay? And that's the same vector in each spot. It's moving in the same direction, the same quantity. This stuff is more of interest. We don't use it a lot. They're just saying that, hey, these two lines that we move it, this line and this line here, end up parallel and congruent. We actually don't use that much with that right offhand, but you can see how they go, oh, x plus a, y plus b. That's just using this idea right there. Again, p apostrophe, that's p prime. Double apostrophe is double prime. So that would be like the image of an image. And this one, PQ is our pre-image before the change. P prime, Q prime is the image after the change. So down here, I've got some scrambled answers over here for you. I'm going to do number 2. I want to name this. Well, my terminal point is B. My end point is A. So that's vector BA. Notice how I do that. The component form. So this is moving left. And so this is -5 in this direction. Then it's -1 because it's going down. So my component for that's going to be -5, -1. There's my BA. There's my -5, -1. You can do the other two. You got answers to check over there. This one, I wish they would have put some more graphs in here for us kids, but they didn't for some reason. The first thing I notice on this one is that the scale. And notice the scale, we've got 4s here. That means I got to be going 2, 4, 2, 4, -2, -4, -2, -4. So each block is 2, so those odd numbers like 5 and 1 aren't going to be on there. So if I do 1, 2, that would be A. 5, 1, that would be B. 5, 4, that would be C. And there's my little triangle. Okay, so I'm going to do this first one. So for number 4, I've got xy, and that's going to go into x minus 4 and y. That's really y plus 0, but I don't need to write plus 0. So if I have, like this for A, I've got 1, 2. That's going to go to A prime, which is going to be 1 minus 4 and 2. So that's going to give me -3 and 2. And I'm going to change this color here. Whoops, let me try this again. That really turned out weird. Let's color code this stuff. Let's do this one in red. Let's try this purple color here. Okay, so this is going to be my, this is going to be my A prime. So that's going to be -3, 2. So that's going to be my A prime there. And then I'm going to do B is what, 5, 1, and that's going into 5 minus 4 and 1. So that should be B prime. So B, can't write. B prime is 1, 1. That's going to be right there. That's my B prime. And C, I'm running out of room here. I should have started this up higher. That's going to be 5, 4, which is going to not equals, which goes to C prime, 5 minus 4 and 4. So C prime is 1, 4. I grab that one, I put it right there. That's C prime. And there's my thing, and you can see this one was basically just shifted over. I can slide it over there. It lines right up with it. You can see I just slid that over a little bit, and that's all you're doing on that. 0, -5. I'll get this one started for you over here on number 6. So you're going to be thinking xy goes into x, and I should have done one of these other ones, y minus 5, and you can take it from there and finish that one. I don't have answer keys for that, just not enough room to put those graphs. This one I probably should have got some answer keys down. Not that hard to do. So we're really just going from S to S prime. Now I could do P to P prime, Q to Q prime, R to R prime. All those are the same. I'm only going to look at one, and I just need to come up with a rule for my translation. So I'm just thinking first here, the vector component, I'm going, again, notice this is 1, 2, 3, 4, so these are 1, so I'm going down 3, forward 1, so I should say I'm going forward 1, down 3, so I'm going forward 1, down 3, that's -3, so my rule is just going to be x plus 1, y minus 3. Okay, these ones just kind of like we did up here, except you're just doing less of it. You can see I got it written up. 0, 5 goes into, well, here's our rule that I used. I just recopied it over here. So that means I'm going to have 0 plus 6, -5 minus 3. So my R double prime, because it's the image of an image, is going to be 6, -8. And on the last one here, 1 unit left, 4 units up. So that's 1 unit left, 4 units up. That puts me right there. I'm going to erase those lines. And then my second move, 2 to the left. So I'm going 2 to the left. That puts me right there. Okay. And then I want to get that final move. I started right here. So I want to get that final move from right there to right there. And you can see that's going to be 3 negatives, 4 positives. So that's -3, 4, or x minus 3, y plus 4. If you notice that 1 left, 4 up, and then I had 2 left, these added up to 3 left, which was my -3. That's it. We're done. I gotta pause this. Catch you in class.